guys is going to be a champion. One of these guys is going to 20 Open Series points. For Boettcher, again, he's in 13th on our Season 3 leaderboard. It's pretty important for him to keep those 2 buys.
For sure.
For the Invitational.
Yeah, 2 buys and a tournament that competitive, 16 rounds, it makes a big difference.
And he has top-aided both of them so far this year. Season 1 when we were in Charlotte, Season 2 when we were in Columbus, and we are going to see him at the Invitational again later this month. We'll see if he does have 2 buys, and more importantly, we're going to see if he can win this Open Series event and get himself another trophy on his very quickly growing mantle.
And being on the play, of course, huge in this matchup.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Jared being the #1 overall seed is a big deal here. English got as close as he could. He's the 2nd seed, so 1 and 2 are through. And we're going to start our finals with a Thoughtseize. Eric English will show a hand of 3 mountains, a Mutavault, a Burning Emissary, a Firefish Striker, and a Fire Drink Crusader. A hand I don't think you can mulligan in the matchup.
No, this hand's fine, but very susceptible to Thoughtseize. This is why when people say Thoughtseize isn't good against red aggro, it's not good all the time. The second one's usually bad.
Yep.
But turn 1 on the play, it's going to be better to have it than not most of the time.
That information is invaluable.
Yeah.
So Boettcher's going to write this hand down. I imagine we're going to see him take Fire Drink Crusader, and I think it's a really big deal. He's actually going to, wow, he's going to take the Burning Emissary. It's a big deal here for English to continue to draw spells, not lands. And he's going to draw his card, play a Fire Drink Crusader, pass the turn back. He drew a mountain for the turn. Boettcher going to play a Devour Flesh, get the Fire Drinker out of the way right now. English will gain a little bit of life, but that doesn't matter much. Boettcher just needs to keep these things off the board. English looks like he may deploy a Mutavault here. He's going to start there. There's the Firefish Striker, past the turn back. His draw was a Founder's Teeth Denizen. A Pack Rat is what Boettcher has picked up. This is a Temple of Deceit. Going to take a look at the top card for Scry. We'll see what Jared wants to do with that card in just a moment.
Interesting to see this turn if Jared wants to deploy Pack Rat or cast a removal spell.
It'll be Pack Rat. English will draw to stoke the flames. See if Eric wants to play that this turn.
I think Eric has the tools to raise a Pack Rat here. I think that I'm just firing up Mutavault and attacking with both of his creatures here.
I'm going to start by playing Foundry Denizen. Now, of course, he can Convoke and cast Stoke the Flames right now and Pack Rat if he'd like to. And that looks like exactly what he's going to do. He's a little bit scared of that card. It's a pretty scary threat. So I can understand where he's coming from. Does he have the potential to raise that card? Maybe. But I can see where he's coming from here. There's another copy of Temple of Deceit for Boettcher. So the Desecration Demon is not going to come down on time because Boettcher has a Bile Blight in his hand. So English is going to quickly untap and take a draw. He is flooding out a little bit here. He's going to fire up a Mutavault. He's going to come into the red zone. See if Boettcher does play Bile Blight before attackers declare. We saw him make that mistake before. And yeah, this time he's going to make sure he gets it right.
The thing is, I think that given how bad Eric's hand is, I think he has a better shot of beating Pack Rat with Stoke the Flames in hand than he is beating Jared just casting stuff.
Sure. It's an attack here for 3. And English will pass the turn back over to Boettcher, who's going to play Desecration Demon, kick it back. English is going to draw a card. Didn't get a great look at what he drew. It's going to be, the Mighty Rabblemaster. Going to fire up the Mutavault. Rabblemaster allows him to sacrifice the token. There will be a trigger here from the Denizen. It's a pretty good turn. You can see how good Rabblemaster is in this deck.
Yeah, this is a great turn.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric had nothing going on.
Yeah.
Now.
Get that thing off the table. He wants to do it with the Denizen maybe instead of the token. That's a little bit interesting. In we come. The attack here for 3. Looks like we're going to kick it back here. So Boettcher ends up taking a little bit of damage there. You see English kind of explaining exactly how the Rabblemaster does work. Boettcher will draw a card. It's a swamp. That's big for the old Gray Merchant. That card has been an absolute all-star in this top 8 for him.
Well, we're going to be playing against White Weenie, Red Aggro, Red Aggro. I mean, people traditionally do not cut Gray Merchant for the list. Some people, remove 1 sometimes. But it's been a good elimination rounds to have all 4, that's for sure.
You are right about that, my friend. No argument here. Demon Trigger is going to go on the stack. English is going to take a look at his hand. He says, all right, I'm going to sacrifice this. Let's see if Boettcher's going to cast Gray Merchant or Hero's Downfall. He's going to go Downfall. English is going to untap. Drawing another Route Master would be really big here. Drew a copy of Stoke the Flames.
I was not a fan of sacrificing at that moment, just because it would turn on Devour Flesh.
Sure. Demon Trigger on the stack. In comes the Demon for 8. English is going to go down to 13. That thing does not take long to close out a game, and this can certainly help. A gain and a drain for 4. Boettcher's up to a very comfortable 16. English is down even lower to 9.
Yeah, traditionally the moment where they attack you with Demon for the first time is when the game has gotten away from you.
Yeah, here's an attack for 5. Boettcher's going to go down to 11. I think English probably has to just take this shot in the face.
Yeah, he can't sacrifice anything.
Yeah. Looks like Boettcher may have picked up another copy of Desecration. English is going to go down to 1. Yep, there's another 6/6 flyer. That card is so good in this matchup, I tell you. Mutavault is the card the English is drawn, and he's going to concede the game. So Jared Boettcher is going to win game number 1 here over Eric English. Being on the play is very powerful, my friends, as we're going to come back here to the booth, and we're going to ask our final trivia question for this morning. You've got the rules. I've got the question.
Yep. He's going to ask you a question. Tweet your answer at SCG Live, hashtag SCG Premium. Of the correct responses, one will be selected at random for a full year of Star City Games premium content. It's about accuracy, not speed. So don't worry about submitting first, just accurately. And please keep in mind, this contest is run at the sole discretion of StarCityGames.com, and that Twitch TV is in no way affiliated with giveaways on stream.
Star City Games is running 2 Grand Prix, one in October, one in November. Name them both. That's 2.
2.
There's 2 of them.
So there's 2 locations.
And you need 2 answers. I know I'm asking a lot this morning, but if you want those 12 months, you got to earn them. Or you can use Google, whatever.
Yeah.
Hashtag SCG Premium. Make sure you're following at SCG Live, and we will announce the winner at the conclusion of our final round, which Jared Boettcher is currently up a game in. And now it's time to take a look at the old sideboards here, where we keep kind of saying the same thing. Jared Boettcher doesn't have 8 cards for these matchups.
Unbelievable.
And he's still making it through. We're going to look at Eric English first. He's got Nassau, Legion Loyalist, 4 Eidolon of the Great Revel, 2 Dino Charge, 2 Magma Spray, 2 Skull Crack, a Hall of Triumph, and then 2 copies of Mizium Mortars. Mr. Sullivan, you're playing Rebel Red. What do you want?
I want 4 copies of Eidolon of the Great Revel. It's pretty good against a deck that's packing a lot of 2 and 3 mana removal spells. Besides that, I mean, this is another spot where I'm not a huge fan of Skull Crack. I know other people are. So if Eric brought it in, it wouldn't surprise me, though I would not were I in his position. But I definitely like the 4 Eidolons.
On Boettcher's side, I sound like a broken record. 3 Lifebane Zombie, an Ocean Thief, an Underworld Connection, 3 Doomblade, 2 Negate, 2 Erebos God of the Dead, 3 copies of Duress. I expect to see Doomblades come in and not much else.
Yeah, if I'm in Jared's spot here, it's +3 Doomblade, -3 Underworld Connections all the day.
Yeah. It seems to be pretty straightforward, but we will see. As Boettcher's already shuffling back up, English is kind of taking a look here on what he does want to do. And don't forget, after this is over, we'll of course do our winner's interview. We still have to give away our 12 months of premium. Can't forget about that. And then we take a short break, get some breakfast. If that's okay with you. Maybe the Dinosaur BBQ is still open.
Probably not the best breakfast
Probably
spot.
not the best breakfast. Okay, fine. We can probably do something else.
I'm still recovering from it, so I will not want to go back there so soon after.
Coward. Then we come back. That was unnecessary. I'm not going to apologize, but it wasn't necessary. Then we come back. We're going to do Legacy, of course. 226 players, it looks like. So we're going to have 8 rounds of Legacy action this afternoon. We'll work our way through that tournament. We'll keep our eyes on the Modern Premier IQ. That is taking place as well. I know that's going to be starting up actually any minute here, since it is a little after 10 o'clock. So I imagine we'll have our players meeting for that. We'll see how many players are there. Don't forget, our Modern Premier IQs are taking place at all Open Series events moving forward. They start at 10 a.m., and the 3 that have been won by Overgrown Tomb decks. First one, Malirapod. Second one, Keter going X and O. Not only in matches, but games played with the Black-Green Rock deck. Congratulations to Kent on finally winning something. As he will tell you, he calls himself, as his friends do, Kent can't close Keter. And then last but certainly not least, we saw the Rock win again in Dallas. So Modern is certainly heating up here in the Open Series, and looks like these Overgrown Tomb decks are a little too much to handle thus far.
Well, it's not totally fair to call Malirapod an Overgrown Tomb deck.
Does it have Overgrown Tomb in it?
Yeah.
Then it's an Overgrown Tomb deck.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, the 5-color Zoo deck that I played had a Godless Shrine in it, but it wouldn't be fair to call it a Godless Shrine deck.
But I could.
Right, but it would be, when you compare it to something like green-black mid-range, which is definitely an Overgrown Tomb deck, when you communicate that, it's very clear that has the intended meaning. Less so the case with Malirapod.
Oh, would you stop?
Just saying,
I'm not going to take that this morning.
words have meaning. It's important to communicate clearly.
Agent Orange 93. I almost said 83. Agent Orange 93 wants to know, Mr. Sullivan, do you know what set Boettcher's swamps are from?
Those, I believe, are Euro lands.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one. I don't know if it's. I think it's the French swamp one, but I'm not 100%.
Normally, you're pretty good about this.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure it's a Euro land of some sort, but I'm not sure exactly which version of Euro land it is.
When Jared plays his swamp, maybe you'll be able to get a better look.
No, I've identified them. I know.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I think there's 3 different Euro lands of each basic land type.
Okay.
And they're all supposed to be a particular location. They're written on the bottom by where the copyright is supposed to be under the artist name. What it's an illustration of. I believe that one is supposed to be either France or Belgium, but I can't recall for sure. So I'm sorry, I have my limitations.
We can't have this.
I know.
This is part of the reason you're here.
I can only be 99% of the way there. I can't have the full 100.
I'll work on them for you guys.
I'm sure someone out there can inform us of which version it is specifically.
The old Twitter sphere?
Yeah. Like the planes that I have are the Netherlands planes.
Those the sunflower ones?
Yeah.
I kind of like those. They're not my favorites, but I like them.
Yeah.
I just got to think for unhinged lands, like a lot.
Sure.
Probably too much.
Euro
We're
Belgium.
being informed Euro Belgium from the Twitter sphere. There it is.
So Belgium was my second guess, right? I said France or Belgium or whatever. I was close enough.
There it is. There it is. That's good enough. I got him to 1. I won.
No, I believe my last statement was either France or Belgium.
You were wrong.
Whatever, you couldn't even begin to guess where they were from.
I didn't get an attempt. I didn't try to guess. I could have told you where they were from.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't try to guess. I let you guess first. I knew the answer. Do you want to know the answer? I can tell you.
I know you can tell me now.
I can tell you where they're from. Would you like to know the answer? They are Belgium swamps, Patrick.
Thanks, buddy.
They are Belgium swamps. Much like the waffle. You know where the waffle is from? Belgium.
I don't know.
It's from Belgium.
I don't know if that's necessarily. Well, whatever.
That's where it's from. Much like the swamps that Jared is playing.
Yeah.
Probably made in the same factory.
As Belgian waffles?
Yes.
They're not made in a factory.
How do you know? Have you been to Belgium?
I'm using my best guess.
Game 2 underway here from Syracuse, not Belgium. A swamp. A 1-drop is important. There's a Fire Drink Crusader. Your favorite card.
Yep. And
You
this
love
one,
that little guy.
I do. We've done some good work. I own so many of them on Magic Online because when I open them in a draft, I just can't say no.
A Temple of Deceit to start things off here. There's a Mutavault and oh no, just a pump? Ah.
Probably a lot of burn in that hand.
Yeah.
If that's the opening.
I mean, Mutavault's certainly important, but if it's just a pump on turn 2, that is not exciting. There's a Swamp there from Boettcher. There's a Devour Flesh. Make sure he takes care of that, not the Mutavault. I'd say the English has in the 3rd turn. It's a Mountain. That's timely. Gonna fire Mutavault down to 15. You think it's a burn-heavy hand, huh?
Yeah.
Almost has to be, right?
Well, it's either lands or burn spells.
Yeah. There's a Hall of Triumph hiding out in his hand right now. I'm not sure how great that one is in this matchup.
I'm not a huge fan.
Just feels like an expensive option. Seems like too much has to go right for that to be a good card.
Yeah, just against mono black devotion, all I want to do is just cast creatures. Doesn't even matter what the creatures are, just keep casting them. So the burn spells, things that pump your creatures, I'm not a fan of in general.
Nightfell Spectre deployed on turn 3 here for Boettcher.
You need every piece of action you can possibly get your hands on to be able to plow through things like Grey Merchant, Desecration Demon. And the spells do not offer a lot of assistance in that regard.
Magic players in the modern event, welcome to our modern premiere.
So this is tough now. You know, Eric's pretty far behind the gun.
Yeah, as you can tell, he's in a difficult situation here. I think he has to deploy creatures first and foremost.
I don't know. I actually want a lightning strike this turn because it's just too efficient to allow Jared to curve into, you know, attack you and then kill the creature you just played. there is a chance that Jared's hand is just removal spells, and if that's the case, you're much better served killing Night Veil Spectre this turn and just redeploying stuff the following turn than deploying something this turn and allowing the Night Veil Spectre to hit you once.
I guess my argument is I don't actually care if the Night Veil Spectre hits me. That's kind of where I'm coming from here. It's just like, if that hits me, it's annoying, but whatever.
Just depends if Jared needs the land or not. I mean, there's a lot of hits off the top of Eric's deck that could be really influential. It's a land, especially a Mutavault. It's a risk.
Yeah, I mean, if he hits a land, it sucks, but I think, the percentage chance of hitting a land versus a red spell or whatever just doesn't matter. Hall of Triumph is one thing I actually like. I would say the thing I like least on that turn, personally. If I'm in Eric's situation there, I can leave up a burn spell, or I can deploy a creature. I think Hall of Triumph is the lowest impact card he can play.
Yeah.
It is like the most mana efficient thing that he can play on that turn, but I think it's the lowest impact card he can play.
Right.
Boettcher plays a Temple of Deceit, scratch the top card to the bottom. It's time to attack here with the Night Veil Spectre. Take a look at the top card. It's another copy of Hall of Triumph. That's something that English did not want to draw, but that's not bad for Boettcher.
It is really funny that he can cast it this turn and put the Night Veil out of Lightning Strike range.
Yeah, it's kind of adorable. There's Eidolon. Going to pass the turn back. It's a 3/3 Eidolon. Does die to Bile Blight all the same, though. And there is the Bile Blight. So 2 damage will be dealt to Boettcher. He's going to go down to 13. Bad news here for Eric, I think Boettcher has, again, untapped land. Well, there's a Water Grave, so he'll have to pay 2. And, yeah, Gray Merchant, so he's going to gain 5. And that might put this game over with.
Yeah.
There is an attack. That is a mountain. So now red spells can come off the top into play. English is going to draw a card. It's a mountain. That one might be a little bit too late to the party now. Does deploy that mountain.
Yeah, and you can't. It's just hard to beat Black Devotion with these spell-heavy hands.
Mm-hmm. Really, really is.
Part of me suspects that Stoke the Flames is not supposed to be in the deck post-board.
Doesn't seem like a great post-sideboard card.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yep.
It's expensive, and it doesn't kill the most problematic card, which is Desecration Demon. If you're playing against black-white, it's actually pretty good because it kills Blood Baron.
Yeah, that's a different matchup.
Yeah, but that's different entirely. There's Nurboard. Here comes the Mighty Gray Merchant in for 2. English is going to go down to 9. And Boettcher's going to play a copy of Pack Rat. Now he gets to start having this kind of mini game. He's also got a Mutavault out there. English is going to draw a card, but Boettcher is at 18. And it's turn 7. That is not how Eric English wants the games to go.
No.
And you can kind of tell, here's a Fire Infrastructure, you can kind of tell, truth be told, when he just attacked and pumped on turn 2, my thought there is, man, his hand must not be very good.
Yeah, and he's still got a lot of action left in his hand. Just does not have the time nor the efficiency to really deploy it.
Yeah. Fire Infrastructure comes across for 3 due to the Hall of Triumph. Boettcher going to draw a card here.
Another reason that I'm not a big fan of Skullcrack in this matchup is because you have to be as mana efficient as possible. Activate Mutavault, pump into Fire Drake Crusader as much as you possibly can. It's tough to leave up 2 mana.
Yeah.
As opposed to a matchup like Esper, where you're already holding up mana naturally anyway, because you stop casting stuff at a certain point because of Supreme Verdict. Yep. It's very easy to leave up a card like Skullcrack.
It's, that situation of leaving with Skullcrack for exactly Gray Merchant, I feel like, we've done coverage on this type of match lot. Basically never happens.
Yeah, it's hard. I thought my instinct initially when I started playing this matchup, like, it's going to be good. They have Gray Merchant. I kind of want burn spells anyway, but after playing with it, there's too many moving parts, and they rarely all line up the right way.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be casting 2/2s for 2 and 2 1s for 1.
Looks like Fire Drake is going to go in front of the Gray Merchant here. Going to make a Pack Rat. Discard a Water Grave to do so. So what you're going to see here is 6 damage is going to come through. It's going to be time for Stoke the Flames. That's going to take care of a Pack Rat.
Not really the hallmark of efficiency here.
Seen better. So now 2 damage will come across because Gray Merchant hits the Fire Drinker, and then 2 damage from a Rat will come through. So English is going to go down to 5. He will untap. He's trying to hold on here. I'm not sure if there's any coming back from this Pack Rat Avalanche, though. Very hard to stop those things. There's a mountain. Problem here for Eric is that he actually has to slow down. He has to play defense now. He can't just keep attacking because we're not in a racing situation. And you can see him, at least one Skullcrack, maybe multiple. And that's kind of the issue here, right? Where Skullcrack is good in a very small number of circumstances. And now it's just very poor.
Yeah, I don't mind Lightning Strike in this matchup because, you know, it is a burn spell, and killing Night Veil Spectre, Pack Rat, Mutavault, these are all things. But the burn spells that only go to the player, I do not think they're that well suited for the matchup.
There's Hero's Downfall. Take care of that Firefish Striker. 2 damage from Mutavault's going to come across. Boettcher's going to go down to 13, but I think that might just be kind of a last gasp sort of attack. Boettcher's going to draw a card here. Probably going to fire up the old Mutavault and come across here for another championship. Jared Boettcher wins this match over Eric English, 2-0, and the Rookie of the Year on the professional circuit is our Star City Games Standard Open champion here from Syracuse.